Welcome to True Life Lessons, where we explore the deepest corners of the human heart and the wisdom found within. Deep within the lush, rolling hills of the River Mist Valley lived a young woman named Shara, known for her kindness. Shara had a heart made of pure gold, always ready to extend a helping hand to anyone who needed her support. However, despite her generous spirit, Shara carried a hidden weakness that often caused her heart to feel heavy and anxious. She possessed an overwhelming need to chase after people, terrified of letting them go even when they wanted to leave. This fear of being left behind made her cling tightly to relationships, often ignoring the signs that things had changed. Her closest companion was a girl named Sophia, and for a long time their friendship was the center of her world. But as the seasons changed, so did Sophia, who began to grow distant and cold without any clear explanation. Instead of giving Sophia space, Shara felt a panic rise within her, driving her to try even harder to connect. She constantly checked in, brought gifts, and asked questions, hoping to bridge the widening gap that had formed between them. The more Sophia pulled away, the more Shara chased, believing that her persistence would eventually bring her friend back. Sophia began to feel suffocated by the attention, viewing Shara's acts of kindness as an annoying burden she could not escape. Shara could not understand why her love was being met with such resistance, leaving her feeling confused and deeply hurt. She spent her nights wondering what she had done wrong, analyzing every conversation, trying to find a solution to fix things. Convinced that one grand gesture could save the relationship, Shara poured all her energy into making Sophia feel special again. But her efforts were in vain, as Sophia simply walked past her, treating Shara like a stranger rather than a friend. The pain of being ignored pierced Shara's heart, yet she still could not bring herself to accept the harsh reality. She continued to hover around Sophia, believing that if she just stayed close enough, things would eventually return to normal. One afternoon, the tension finally snapped when Sophia turned around, her eyes flashing with anger and frustration at Shara. She looked directly at Shara and delivered a stinging remark that would echo in Shara's mind for a long time. She snapped coldly, telling Shara she did not need to follow her everywhere, demanding space in the harshest way possible. Shara stood paralyzed, the words cutting deep into her soul, leaving her feeling small, unwanted, and incredibly foolish. Watching her friend walk away, Shara felt a crushing weight, realizing her attempts to hold on had only pushed Sophia away. Seeking solace, she wandered towards the river, hoping the sound of the flowing water would calm her racing, troubled mind. The river had always been her sanctuary, a place where she could think clearly and find peace away from others. She found a quiet spot behind some tall bushes, intending to cry alone and let out the pain she carried. But her solitude was interrupted when she heard familiar voices approaching, laughter ringing out that made her heart freeze instantly. She recognized Sophia's voice immediately and instinctively stayed hidden, not wanting to face another rejection or angry outburst. From her hiding spot, Shara became an unintended listener to their conversation, unaware that what she would hear would change everything. One of the girls asked Sophia about Shara, wondering why they hadn't seen the two of them together lately. Sophia laughed dismissively and began to speak, her tone dripping with annoyance as she described Shara as a clingy burden. She called Shara annoying, complaining that she followed her around like a shadow and simply wouldn't take a hint. Hearing these cruel words from her best friend shattered Shara's heart into a million pieces, causing a pain unlike any other. Sophia continued to vent, declaring loudly that she wished Shara would just disappear and leave her alone for good. All the memories of kindness and effort flashed before Shara's eyes, now tainted by the realization that they meant nothing. In that moment of raw pain, something inside Shara shifted, a sudden clarity emerging from the depths of her despair. She realized the painful but necessary truth: she wasn't losing a friend. She was being freed from someone who didn't value her. Instead of confronting them, Shara chose to walk away silently, leaving behind not just the river, but her past behavior. As she walked home, she made a solemn vow to herself to never again chase someone who wanted to leave. She understood now that if someone wants to walk out of your life, you should let them go without resistance. She began to clear her physical and emotional space, removing the reminders of a friendship that had become one-sided and toxic. Shara started to invest that energy into herself, finding joy in solitary activities and learning to love her own company. She stopped being a shadow to others and started becoming the main character of her own vibrant and beautiful life. The desperate need to be liked was replaced by a quiet confidence, a self-assurance that she was enough just as she was. When she stopped chasing, something magical happened. New people began to approach her, drawn by her calm and independent energy. These new connections were different. They were effortless, mutual, and built on genuine respect rather than desperation or obligation. Shara realized that by respecting herself, she was teaching others how to treat her, setting a standard for all relationships. Sophia noticed this change from afar, surprised to see Shara happy and thriving without her, glowing with a new light. When their paths crossed, Shara simply nodded politely and kept walking, proving she no longer needed Sophia's validation to feel whole. Her life filled up with people who stayed because they wanted to, not because she had begged or forced them. She had learned the most valuable lesson of all: you cannot lose anyone who is truly meant to be in your life. Letting go of those who do not value you creates the necessary space for those who will cherish and love you. Shara was no longer a shadow. She was a shining light, attracting love and friendship simply by being her authentic self. She continued to be kind and generous, but she no longer gave pieces of herself away to those who didn't care. Her journey taught her that true belonging doesn't require chasing. It requires standing still and letting the right people find you. Like the river in the valley, life flows best when we stop fighting the current and allow things to move naturally. She found peace in the silence that used to terrify her, realizing that solitude is far better than false companionship. The love she had always craved finally found her, not because she chased it, but because she finally learned to love herself. Looking back, she was grateful for the painful rejection, for it was the catalyst that forced her to grow strong. She walked forward into a future filled with promise, knowing she would never again beg for a seat at anyone's table. Remember, do not chase people. Be you, do your own thing, and work hard. The right people will come to you. The universe has a way of removing people from your life to protect you, so do not run after them. Relationships are like sand. Hold them too tight, and they slip away, but hold them gently, and they remain with you. When you know your worth, you stop giving people discounts. You realize that your presence is a gift, not a burden. Just like a flower does not chase the bees, you simply need to bloom, and the right ones will find you. Start your romance with yourself today. Treat yourself with the same love and attention you freely give to everyone else. Those who belong in your life will come and stay. You won't have to fight for a spot in their lives. If you are currently chasing someone who doesn't appreciate you, take this as your sign to stop and choose yourself instead. Let the sun set on your past behaviors and rise on a new chapter of dignity, self-respect, and true happiness. Life is too short to spend it begging for attention. You deserve to be celebrated, not just tolerated by others. Walk your path with your head held high. The right companions will walk beside you, matching your pace every step. Shara found her peace by the river, not by chasing the water, but by letting it flow, just like her life. So today, make the brave choice to stop running after those who run from you and start running towards yourself. May you find the strength to let go, the courage to stand alone, and the wisdom to know your true worth. Thank you for watching True Life Lessons. Remember to value yourself, and the right people will always stay by your side.